All right, welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report. I'm Chase Senior. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, we appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. On the docket for the program this afternoon, we're going to evaluate the quarterbacks and how they've performed so far in training camp and take a deep look at Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, and Sam Darnold. Before we begin, though, make sure you subscribe to the channel and lock us in for daily and year-round coverage of the Niners. We're 37 people away from 82,000 subscribers. And once we get to 100K, YouTube's going to send us a plaque, and we're going to celebrate here on the show. So you look at the quarterback battle here of the three main quarterbacks on this roster. A lot of people want to talk about Brandon Allen. Come on, let's be real. He's not going to get significant snaps for this team as long as all three of these players are healthy. Brock Purdy is the number one as of right now. Trey Lance is the backup. Sam Darnold is the number three, but can he unseat Trey Lance as QB2, even though Trey Lance has gotten more first-team reps than Sam Darnold? That's why I slot him in as the second stringer. We first start off with Brock Purdy here. How has he fared? He's taken 88, 11 versus 11 reps. All of those reps have come with the first team as of right now after an off day on Wednesday. Passing-wise, he's completed 29 of 48 passes. Not great. That's good for a completion percentage of 60%. In evaluating Brock Purdy, he's been a little bit rusty, but he is starting to get a little bit more comfortable because if you think about it, following the UCL injury and that surgery that he underwent all the way back in March, he hadn't thrown a football since the end of the regular season. Then he comes on the field at the start of Niners training camp. That's the first live action that he had seen since the NFC Championship game. So it's understandable why he was a little bit rusty and why over time he's gotten a little bit more comfortable because he's trying to build up the strength in that arm and get acclimated with playing actual football again. He has made some nice plays, improvisational plays, plays inside the pocket, accurate dots, but the physical limitations have shown up a little bit. And this is an area that I want to see if other teams are going to be able to adjust to. Are they going to take away some of the throws in which Brock Purdy was successful with last year and force him to make throws they don't think that he has the arm strength for? That's something to monitor here in the preseason if he plays, then in the regular season if he's the starter. And among all quarterbacks that we're talking about here, Purdy, Lance, Darnold, his completion percentage is second behind Lance, just ahead of Sam Darnold. He also has thrown more interceptions than some of the quarterbacks as well. Our poll question for today's show: season opener coming up in just a few weeks against the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road. Will Purdy be this team's starting quarterback? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. I was looking at Fanatics, checking out some Niners gear, and I came across this NFL Jam throwback shirt that's on sale, limited time only, with Steve Young and Jerry Rice with all of their video game player ratings. It is so cool, and it's on sale for the faithful, and we have you covered. You can get it by using that link down below, chatsports.com/49ersjam. From Brock Purdy to Trey Lance, how he's fared. Less reps than Purdy, 80 of them. A combination have come with the first team when Purdy's been out and the second team when Purdy's been practicing. For Lance, what he needed to accomplish this offseason, in my opinion, clean up the mechanics, become a little bit more accurate and decisive with the football. He's been able to do that, even though it's training camp, 29 of 40 with a completion percentage of 65%. In evaluating Trey Lance, of all of these quarterbacks, and this is really saying something because Sam Darnold is a freaky athlete with a big arm, I think that Lance is the best and most dynamic overall athlete. The wow plays have continued. Tight window throws, the long ball, and his accuracy with that deep ball is probably the best among these three quarterbacks here. The issue, still missing some easy layups. He's done that in red zone drills. He's done that outside of the red zone. But he's more comfortable. He's more decisive. The Niners are really happy with some of the strides that he's made. It looks as though he has the best understanding of this offense that he's had in his entire career going into year 3, and the mechanics are better. The motion used to be long and loopy with kind of a hitch in there, wobbly football. The spirals are a little bit tighter. Now the motion has gone from long and loopy to more concise and shorter. Now, Adam Schefter was on the Pat McAfee show on Wednesday and had some interesting things to say about Trey Lance. And this comes on the heels of that wild Mike Silver report when Silver suggested in his column that maybe the Niners could cut Trey Lance. I went on to explain why it's never going to happen. Here's what Schefter had to say to McAfee about Trey Lance here. I'm not going to overreact to a couple of throws that are on social media where he's a little off. I can tell you that they felt like he has had as good of an offseason as he had, and he's more prepared than he's ever been. So let's see what happens over the course of this summer. And the preseason for Trey Lance is certainly going to be telling. The joint practices next week against the Las Vegas Raiders are going to tell a big story. If he performs well against the Raiders in practice, then in the preseason, and I'm not sure if Brock Purdy's going to play or not, then that'll go a long way in improving his stock. If Trey Lance struggles against the Raiders in those joint practices and in the preseason, the heat is going to get loud. And we live in a very reactionary world. Like, I know during OTAs, I put out a video of Lance doing that step-step drill where he missed his target high and wide, and it was an awful throw. And I tweeted that out there because the one big problem for Lance has been his lack of accuracy. And there, yes, it was a footwork drill, he lacked the accuracy. So, yes, I can get caught up in that as well. But he has to make improvements, and it seems as though the Niners are pleasantly surprised, and they're pleased with some of the improvements. Here's more from Schefter on Lance here. Maybe before the trade deadline, if he's coming along, could somebody inquire about him? That's always possible. Quarterbacks in this league are currency. They want to bring him along. They were happy. They thought he made a lot of progress during the offseason. They thought it was the best offseason he's had. They thought he was as far along as he's been. Let's see how it plays out the rest of the summer before we're writing off Trey Lance. This is probably a combination of opinion and some people that Adam Schefter has been able to talk to. He does still think that Brock Purdy will start. He did mention that San Francisco really likes Sam Darnold, and he could be quarterback number 2. He's just not writing off Trey Lance, and I'm not either, because the dude just turned 22 years old and has 4 starts in the NFL, a combined 21 starts going all the way back to 2019. This is, though, a far cry from what Mike Silver had reported. When he's saying the Niners could cut Trey Lance, it makes absolutely no financial sense in which the Niners, a team that's paying all these premium players top dollar, are going to eat money just to move off of Lance. Do you believe in him? B for believe. D for you're still a doubter. I know the comment section is going to get going with this one. I don't understand why people dislike Lance. He seems to be a great guy. Everybody I've talked to has also said that as well. Polarizing figure, though, among this fan base. Hopefully it's because of the play, or you're just not sure what he's going to become. That's why you're still a doubter. But either way, you look up Trey Lance on Twitter, you could go any which way with that argument. How Sam Darnold has fared. 76 11 on 11 reps. He's been 23 of 40. His completion percentage, the lowest of these 3 quarterbacks following the off day on Wednesday. Evaluating Darnold here. It's been way too inconsistent. This is really the biggest issue for him throughout his entire career. He has good throws, wow plays, and some bad throws and some clunkers. In the red zone on Tuesday, really struggled before the day off. He can drop the different arm angles, so that's good. He can throw from up top, 3-quarter, sidearm, and he can change the arm trajectory, which I think is a useful skill when the pass rush is coming your way. Sometimes you got to get that throw away, but there are mitts and hands and arms and bodies flying all around you. He's had some red zone struggles, which obviously is a little bit of an issue for Sam Darnold. So with that, we talk Purdy, we talk Lance, we talk Darnold. Who is the best quarterback on this roster? What say you? Sound off with what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, and we appreciate all of you for watching the San Francisco 49ers Report.